The Sacramento Observer was born following the inauguration of a men's group seeking to better the community in Greater Sacramento. When they couldn't get coverage of their activities in the local papers, Realtor Bill Lee saw an opportunity.
As president of the Men's Civic League, I felt it was my responsibility at that time to make sure we had a vehicle that we could get out to the community and provide some kind of information and a voice, if you will, for the community.
There were 7 people who joined together to really start a black newspaper. 7 people, 7 different ideas. So they printed one issue and then they disbanded, and then Bill and John Cole and Gino Gladden, the 3 of them, decided they would go forth with the newspaper.
This is our very first publication itself, the first newspaper itself.
We did not want any negative stories in the paper. We didn't want any crime stories. We just wanted positive things so our children can look in the paper and say, well, I want to be like him. I want to grow up to be a school teacher. I want to be a principal. So this is the focus that we've kept on the newspaper. And to this day, you'll never pick up an Observer with glaring, sensational type headlines. Always positive.
Everything from the births to the deaths to the joys and the sorrows, all the kinds of things that really this community is made up about. We had to learn how to obviously run a newspaper. It wasn't profitable. We were losing a lot of money. Thank God I did have some success in the real estate operation to invest in this. And just so happened, Mr. Cole, because of the downside of it, the losing of the money and so forth, Mr. Cole decided that he wanted out of it. So we took his investment on. Mr. Gladden, unfortunately, died at a very young age, and so we lost him as well. So my wife and I were essentially stuck with this.
We would have to wait until the end of the month to bill them and collect our money. And then, of course, our rent was due and our phone bills and everything else was due. So I would be the one to get on the phone and call them and say, you know, I hate to bother you, but is there any way you can get us a check ready and I could get somebody to come pick it up, or I'll pick it up, or whatever. And because I had so much of an interest in making sure that we got our money, I couldn't entrust it with anyone else. So I thought, well, this is my calling. Here I am today, still doing it.
The Observer began to gain a national reputation, and the Lees found themselves as part of something bigger.
We were seeing the awards and the recognition and so forth coming to successful black newspapers. In '73, we were named the country's leading African-American newspapers, and there were 200 African-American newspapers at the time.
The Observer continued to grow through special editions and statewide publications, and Joe Stinson added his sales skills to the paper.
It has a very small staff then.
Yeah, then we
at
looked.
That time, and you remember Hank Renner.
I remember Hank Renner so well.
And Gino and Georgella.
Yeah,
Gladden,
Georgella.
yeah.
She looks, yeah, Georgella. Now I don't remember this young lady here, Aretha Williams.
Lynn Dixon. He was president of the NAACP.
NAACP. He was it.
This issue introduced you to us, Joe,
Yeah.
because it's been a long time, right? Since those years, over 30 years.
You look at all these people here, they were famous then. You know, Dizzy Gillespie, all these were just key entertainers at that period.
They began to embrace what we were trying to do, our leadership, if you will, within the black press. And we were invited to be a member, a part of the jury for the Pulitzer Prize. And it was a great honor for me to have that opportunity. Did it a couple times.
Through 4 decades, through changes in politics, economics, and fashion, the expectations of the Observer's readers have been constant.
They want quality reporting. They certainly want to be able to read about the community we represent.
And the enterprise has remained a family business.
All of them have contributed into the business. They really have. And our other son, who's living in Los Angeles, he even took time out from his wife for a while to come and see if we could all get this thing going when we first moved in the building. And so it's always been a labor of love, I think, with the Lees and the Observer.
We see ourselves becoming more of a media group, not just the printed page. We expanded our website. We started it just a few years ago, and my son has been kind of the visionary for this.
Now Larry can take the digital and just move with it. I think that's what my dream is, to see him go that way. We're not thinking about retiring. Everybody wants, when are you going to retire? No, not doing that. I think we're just going to hang in there until he calls.
And it is an exciting community. It is a growing community. When we started in '62, there were 18,000 that we felt that we had abilities to serve in Sacramento. Today, there's 150,000 living in the Sacramento area, African Americans living here. What a great city we say it is within a city.
It's been a wonderful journey. It really has. And I just thank God for allowing us to get to this point, 40 years, where we can celebrate.